Hello and welcome to Pay Entry's Affordable Care Act presentation of the automatic code selection. This is part 2 of a 3-part video series. In this video we will cover the company setup needed for the automatic code selection process. The other 2 videos in this series were part 1, the overview of what is automatic code selection, and the next video is part 3, the employee setup. In addition, if you have not already seen it, there is a short video on the company setup portion of the Affordable Care Act. This information will be helpful as you set up the automatic code selection. As with the other videos in this series, please confirm the information that is covered in this video and how it affects your organization with your legal advisor or ACA expert. As a quick review, autocode selection is a routine that determines the majority of the ACA coverage values for the employees based on the settings of the insurance plans. It can help employers complete Part 2 of the 1095-C form, the employee offering coverage. Plus, it can also help complete Part 3, the covered individuals, if the company is self-insured. And now a couple quick notes before we get started. Please confirm your employee ACA statuses are up to date and cover the entire reporting year before you start the automatic code selection process. Also, for the purposes of this video, we will be setting it up using full automation. However, keep in mind that you can choose to only automate the lines you wish the system to fill in. And regardless of the choices you make for automation, you can always override it at the employee level. We will now go through the steps to set up autocode selection. Though we go through this process step by step, some actions are actually independent of each other, thus do not necessarily have to happen in this order. The first step is going to be to enable the autocode selection option. This option can be found from the main menu, going to Company Setup to the ACA tab. If you do not see the Company ACA tab, please contact your payroll provider. Once you click on Enable, you will be prompted to re-enter your password as a confirmation that you want to turn this feature on. Next, we will set up the insurance plan. For the purposes of this video, the insurance plan will strictly be for ACA purposes and will not affect the employee's deduction. To access the insurance plan setup, from the main menu, select Company Setup. From Company Setup, select Insurance. From the Insurance tab, you want to set up a code for your insurance plan. I am going to set up Blue Cross Blue Shield for Flowers Landscaping. The code can be up to 10 characters long, and just enter a long description. For the start date, this company's insurance plan goes from January 1st through December 31st. So I'm going to enter January 1st through December 31st of 2015 and click Add. And now click Details. As always, our dates will default from the previous screen. For the Insurance tab, click on the down arrow and select Health Insurance. The policy number, COBRA, and Section 125 qualified are not needed since we are only setting up this insurance for ACA purposes. The health insurance type automatically checks the boxes for MEC, minimum essential coverage, minimum value, and also provides employee coverage. You should confirm with your insurance provider that your plan meets all of these. In the next section, Employee-Employer Contribution Setup, the only part of this section that you need to complete is the employer contribution percentage amount. This only needs to be completed if the employer is paying a percentage of the cost of the coverage. In this case, Flowers Landscaping is paying 50% of the cost, up to $500 per month. Next is eligibility. Eligibility is very important. You can choose whether all employees are eligible for this plan or employees in certain pay groups. I'm going to select all employees. You can further define your eligibility by entering a waiting period. And the last two sections, insurance company and insurance agent, are not needed for ACA purposes. So click on Save and return to company setup. And now click on Premiums. Start at the age range of 0. You must have at least employee-only coverage amount. Keep in mind that this is the total monthly cost to the company for the employee-only coverage. The cost for the employee will be determined by deducting the employer-paid percentage from the previous screen. I'm going to enter $350 for the total cost of employee-only coverage for this Blue Cross Blue Shield plan. The rest of the costs are optional since ACA only needs the employee-only coverage. Please note that auto code selection will only determine the codes 2A, 2B, 2C, and 2D. If you need the other two series codes for line 16, please enter those manually on the employee's ACA coverage screen. Click Save Changes and return to company setup. Just a quick side note, if your insurance follows a fiscal year, enter the same code twice with the corresponding start and end date for each fiscal year. Make sure to enter the detailed information for both plans and the corresponding premium rates for that year. When entering the employee information, set up the insurance plan with an end date of the forever date 12/31/2100. This concludes Pay Entry's Affordable Care Act presentation of the automatic code selection process. This was part 2 of a 3-part series. This was the company setup. Please make sure to watch part 3, the employee setup.